lot of the questions from my fans on Twitter and Facebook were related to education, and they generally came in a number of themes. One was, could you have him elaborate on his education manifesto? The other was, hey, I have a kid who's in 4th grade. I have a kid who's just going to be entering school. What would Seth do in my shoes? You don't have to tackle those right off the bat, but that is context. Could you tell us more about what you're up to?
All right, so this is a rant, and it's not about what I'm up to. It's about what I was up to. And the rant is this. Sooner or later, parents have to take responsibility for putting their kids into a system that is indebting them and teaching them to be cogs in an economy that doesn't want cogs anymore. And parents get to decide. I'm a huge fan of public school. Send my kids to public school. I think everyone should go to public school because it's a great mix master of our world. But from 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock, those kids are getting homeschooled, and they're either getting homeschooled and watching the Flintstones, or they're getting homeschooled in learning something useful. And I think we need to teach kids 2 things. 1, how to lead, and 2, how to solve interesting problems. Because the fact is, there are plenty of countries on earth where there are people who are willing to be obedient and work harder for less money than us. So we cannot out-obedience the competition. Therefore, we have to out-lead or out-solve the other people. I don't care what country they live in Wyoming or across the world, who want that whatever is scarce. The way you teach your kids to solve interesting problems is to give them interesting problems to solve. And then don't criticize them when they fail, because kids aren't stupid. If they get in trouble every time they try to solve an interesting problem, they'll just go back to getting an A by memorizing what's in the textbook. That it's so important here. And I spend an enormous amount of time with kids. I produced the Wizard of Oz, the musical, in 4th grade. I used to help run a summer camp. I think that it's a privilege to be able to look a trusting, energetic, smart 11-year-old in the eye and tell them the truth. And what we can say to that 11-year-old is, I really don't care how you did on your vocabulary test. I care about whether you have something to say. And we can teach our kids from a young age to be the kind of people we want them to be. And anything that's worth memorizing is worth looking up now. So we don't need to have them spend a lot of time getting good grades so they can go into a famous college, because famous colleges don't work anymore. Famous college isn't the point anymore. The point is there an entity that will have trouble living without you when you seek to earn a living? Because if there is, you'll be able to make a living. If, on the other hand, you're waiting in the placement office for someone to pick you, you will be persistently undervalued.